This meeting is being recorded.
All right, so I got Anne with me, and she is a Rockstar client. And you've been with me for, this is going on to the second month, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. All right, and so far in this second month for you, let's break down just a couple basic questions. What was it that you hoped to accomplish, even just first reaching out to a trainer?
I was kind of stuck. I was on an old program and I was just trying to rework the program over and over again, and realized that I needed somebody else to tell me what I was doing right and what I needed to change, because I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting the results I wanted by myself.
Okay, and then when you came across myself, what was kind of your first initial thoughts when you first just kind of found me?
What I liked is actually that you gave a lot of resources without even being a client. So I thought that was pretty cool. I felt like you walked the walk and talked the talk before I ever even had a conversation with you. You also had no problem sending me resources before I became one of your clients as well. And I found that to be really helpful. I thought that you were also very honest and genuine. I remember your post about you were trying to be vegetarian and you all of a sudden ate some chicken fingers. But instead of like completely beating yourself up, what you said is, okay, like this is a moment. I want to share this moment with you. And it just seems so real for me. Like it was okay to be human and being in this program.
Awesome. So that kind of leads into the next question then is, and then you can say same thing if it kind of is the same thing, but what made you ultimately go ahead and say, you know what, yeah, I'll sign up or set up a call with him and see what he's got to share with me, and then what ultimately led you into saying, yeah, let's go ahead and kind of join this adventure together?
I think that, again, seeing all the shares that you did with different people, when you put a statement out there like, hey, if you're in a slump or if you're stuck, like here's some good tips to move yourself forward. And on the call, it was that the expectations were going to be realistic and they were going to work around my life and my lifestyle. And that was a big plus for me. I was so tired of being on the let's starve you to death and work you out as much as possible. You have to give up everything that you have in your real life in order to make this happen. And this was the first program where I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually going to work with my life. And it's something long term instead of just the quick fad of like boot camp, we're going to lose X number of pounds in six weeks. We had a really honest conversation that, hey, I'm looking for something that I can lose weight, gain muscle, and maintain my lifestyle. And this is the first time that I've ever had a trainer tell me I could have all of it.
Awesome. And that leads into the next question is, if you had done one program or type of diet or something health related in the past that absolutely did not work, but kind of promised all these kind of pie in the sky, like rainbows and unicorns, if you could pick one thing, was there something that you had experienced or witnessed, somebody else going through that they absolutely did not get what it was all cracked out to be?
Yeah, I think I've done two. One was the boot camp. It was tons of HIIT cardio, but no food. We didn't talk about food. We didn't talk about food intake. It was just, come here. Let me run you till you're ragged and you're pouring sweat. And I didn't really see any results. I actually gained weight in that program. The other program I did like, but it was so strict on my macros that it wasn't sustainable. And as soon as I stopped doing it, I put the weight back on.
Okay. And then next question is, has there been a program that you have done that you absolutely love and is actually giving you or has given you the results that you were looking for?
This one has been, I feel like, the most successful for me. I think that it works with my life and my lifestyle. I can eat carbs. I didn't even think that was. I love the workouts. I love the fact that there's a lot of change. I like change. So in my workouts, I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. I find it really monotonous. So every time I pull up my app and I'm looking at I always look at my workouts ahead of time and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. I'm going to try something new today, or I'm going to try this. It's going to be a little bit different today. And what I like about it is, have I seen a lot of weight loss? No, but I can tell that my body composition has changed. Like my arms are much more toned, my legs are much more toned. And the big one for me is that I can still live my lifestyle and not feel guilty about it every single day.
Awesome. I love that. And what would you say is kind of like the, do you find any downsides of having training online versus an in-person coach? Because I know a lot of people sometimes struggle. They want to have like that accountability of having an appointment or that human, of course, interaction. But for people that might be struggling to even think about online training, could you let them know any type of perks, or if it makes sense to do it regardless of how you are practicing better health?
Yeah, I think that I've done, actually before this, everything was in person. And what I love about doing it remote is that that's part of why it fits in my lifestyle. I own my own business. Sometimes I have client meetings that come up early in the morning that would have interfered with another training program. So if I were to meet my trainer at 7 a.m. every morning and I had to be at a check-in for new starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't go to training that day. So I love the fact that I can get up when I want to get up in the morning. I can, have my breakfast, drink my coffee, go upstairs, do my workout, or go to the gym, do my workout. But everything's around my schedule. And that's what I like most about it.
Awesome. And then with the usability or usability of the app, does it feel like you have a coach there as far as the training programs and nutrition, any resources, community? I mean, the things that you would naturally have in person, does it feel like you still have that simulated online?
Yeah, I think that you always check in with all of us. I love the tribe community. I can see where other people are like hitting, like, you had two of your personal best today and, cheering those other individuals on. We have our phone calls with each other. I also know if I'm stuck or I have a question, all I have to do is text you and you get back to me right away. You're super responsive. But I feel like even when I'm doing my workouts, I still feel like you're there. So, you complete the whole thing. And like I said, as soon as you post it, somebody's cheering you on or saying good job. So I feel like I definitely have that constant, consistent engagement.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm glad that you get to experience that and be able to share that with everybody else. This is a really difficult question.
Okay.
Tell me how you feel when you wake up in the morning now.
I feel great. I feel awesome. I feel like I finally have the energy I had before. I think that being on my last program and I was so carb deficient and calorie deficient that I was just like a walking zombie. And you get out of bed every morning and be like, oh my gosh, like I have energy again. I'm 49 years old and I felt like I was just stuck to being exhausted every single day. And to know that, wow, if you eat enough calories, if you work out right, if you get your water intake, like this is what you're supposed to feel like.
And how awesome was it to feel and no braggadocious for me by any means. I really truly want to know. I mean, I felt it when we were communicating when you were on vacation. So you were crazy enough to be like, all right, I'm going to follow this guy a little bit, read some of his stuff, maybe try out some of his resources. I'll get on a call with him, and then yeah, I'll probably sign up. And then I do sign up. Oh, by the way, I'm going on vacation almost immediately after. Oh, by the way, I'm starting up another business to try to get that thing going really well. Oh, by the way, and you still want to do this. And I could have tried to pull every stop out of there to have you not do this until you got back. But we went ahead and you went on vacation. So let everybody know, was it possible to still be able to live a vacation lifestyle, but also a new fitness lifestyle or new fitness program lifestyle?
Absolutely. I worked out every single day. There was a great gym there. I also brought my armbands or my band set in case they didn't have a workout facility. But to be able to do my 40-minute walk on the beach, I mean, how hard is that?
Right.
It was it's always fun to go work out at a new gym facility. I just felt like it was really easy to do. And again, because it's on my phone, it's on my app, I don't have to worry about the fact that I couldn't be at the class that day. I could just keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Now, as far as the nutrition side of things, is there, what do you like most about it? And what would you say maybe isn't your most favorite?
Again, for me, it's that I can eat carbs again. So it's the fact that I'm kind of more of a grazer. I'm the person who I always say I take enough snacks with me to work. But I don't feel restricted. I feel like there's so much variety. You had sent over that list of snacks that you could take, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So it's the least restrictive program that I've ever been on. So for me, it's awesome. I think my biggest challenge has been getting enough calories in every day, and that still is a focus. I know it's an area that I need to be more disciplined with, and that's what I'm working towards.
So remember when we first had our first consultation and you asked the question that everybody likes to ask, but they hate the answer of how long does somebody usually take to get through the first step or the first phase, or how long does it take until this? And I explained it to you. And aren't you kind of grateful now, understanding how I shared it with you during our consultation, that it makes sense to kind of go in baby step versus just trying to jump right to that amount that we figured out we would have to even eat?
Yes, I think for me, it was just giving my metabolism a time to completely reset my hormones. I just feel like I was in such a place of where my body didn't know what I was doing, and I was constantly changing it. And finally, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, so it's okay now. It took me a long time to be okay with the fact, like, it's okay to eat when you're hungry, and then not getting hungry and feeling good about it. And I like the fact that we're gonna get my body to function the way it needs to first, and then we'll focus on other specific areas that I want to achieve.
I love that. That is so much awesome news to, like, once you feel it, you start feeling physical changes in a different way rather than just the outward of the mirror or the scale or things like that. And those are good side effects now. Now they're always going to happen. They're just going to be in a slower rate, which is okay, because if you don't focus on something so vast, all the little bite-sized pieces are going to eventually just align, and that's how you eat an elephant. So why can't we apply that to everything else? Last two questions. So the second to the last is, when our check-in process, provide just a little kind of summary of how our check-in process is and what you like about it or even dislike about it.
So every Friday you send us the form to check in. We kind of describe to you, what worked well for us, what didn't work well. We talk about stress level, we talk about sleeping, we talk about energy. So we kind of give you a recap of how that week went. Also areas that we want to focus on. And what I love is that when I submitted my form, it's just a couple minutes later, and then I have hey, I sent you some notes from your feedback, and then just reading it. Sometimes it's an affirmation, sometimes it's just acknowledgement of, like, okay, like, it's okay that that's how my week went, or it's okay that that's how I was feeling. One of my struggles has, again, been getting my calories in, and a lot of times it's because, and I know a lot of people can relate to this, you get to work and you're so busy. I'm a person who will forget to eat. And so giving me all the list of the different snacks to eat. I had gone to NASCAR for a weekend, and I told you I was really dragging by the end of the week, and I completely blamed it on my weekend. And That's how it felt. But you just saying like, hey, it's okay. Like we're starting the week over. It's Monday. It's a new week. And me being able to refocus and be like, okay, cool. It is okay. Like that was part of what we agreed to, is that I could have the lifestyle that I wanted to, because I'm looking for a long-term plan, not just a short-term, in 6 weeks you can lose X number of pounds. But then I know that if you don't stay true to something, you're just going to revert. So for me, it's helping me plan that long-term lifestyle. That's why I love the feed.
I love that. I mean, because it's right. You spent the vast majority of your adult life, kicking butt, grinding, pushing hard, go, taking crap, giving crap, all these different things. Now we get to slow, and it's like, wait, that wasn't even really the majority of our life. It was the majority of our adult life, but we still have a majority of our true life that we get to continue being functioning, awesome adults and still get to be children and go have fun at NASCAR, and then have a crappy weekend of being exhausted, but then being okay with, you know what, I've been kicking butt, and I've been kicking butt for the right reasons this time, because I know my body is going to thank me for having this fun, because then it's going to allow me to be able to do more fun in the future, because now I got to get back to my goals and so on. And that's why it is truly sustainable, because you're just ultimately, you're not ever done being challenged. Nobody is. We love being challenged. So they might be small things. So as soon as you hit this next milestone that we've created, and the next one and the next one, you're not being greedy. You're just now understanding that I actually set 700 small goals to get to that one massive goal, instead of always just thinking about that one massive goal and there's no other steps in between. It doesn't make sense. Everybody can climb Everest. It's a really simple thing to do. It's one step in front of the other, but it's not easy. But all those people, it takes them 7 months to 12 months to even prepare for something like that. And then they have to save the money to be able to afford it. But that's Everest, but they did it. They didn't just go to a rock climbing gym, at a trampoline park and be like, all right, I'm going to climb Everest next. So I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're really diligent about taking the steps. And now you kind of understand, like, you ask a question like, I would really like to do this. And then I give you my honest feedback and you're like, okay, that makes sense. And you could throw a tantrum, you could fight, you could absolutely do all of those things. And I've given you full power to be able to do so. But now you actually understand, you're like, okay, there's got to be a method to this, because there's always a method. And it's not even Corey's method or health related. It's just a common sense kind of process that we have to go through. Because I didn't steal any of this stuff. Just stuff that I get to live on a regular basis. And when I get to do this for all of you guys, it's wild, because then I get to go and train myself. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? Anne said that she had a crappy weekend because she was having fun. How is a crappy weekend? How is having fun a crappy weekend? It's like, oh, but her perception of that is, I wasn't good on my nutrition, or I didn't go walk for the 30 minutes that I normally would have during the weekend, or whatever. But that's your now new perception of crappy. Your husband can be like, oh my God, we had a blast. You're like, I didn't get to go for a walk, so I'm sad. But it's a different thing. So it's really cool. Final question is, everybody that would potentially be starting out, what would you say to them, whether it's what to look out for, what to look for, what to ask, what to expect? Throw something at them that would make their life a little bit easier getting started.
I would say trust the process. Focus.
Trust the process. Like the Chicago Cubs, they finally got that their World Series, right?
Yes. Trust the process. Follow the instructions. Be diligent about your workouts. Make sure that you're putting your food in every single day, and just trust the process.
Trust the process. I love that. So we're gonna coin that. The "and" term is trust the dang process.
Right.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for coming on. And again, Anna is a rock star of mine that we've been training for just a little under 2 months. And she is an online client, and she is very successful at doing this because she gets to live her life around fitness rather than fitness being around her life. So I'm going to say have a great rest of your afternoon, Anne, and we'll see you on our coaching calls.
All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.